Singh, ladies and gentlemen, an extremely very good morning to you. Today the topic is very interesting, e-waste. Because electronic waste has, I don't know, grown by how many hundred or how many thousand% from 95 till 2016, which means in 21 years, electronic waste in India has a rampant growth. And it basically includes a broad spectrum of electronic appliances, products, components, and accessories. Due to malfunction, exhaustion, things like batteries, light bulbs, and fluorescent tubes, which have also been discarded. E-waste is a byproduct of the technological revolution. When disposed of in a landfill, it becomes a conglomeration of plastic and steel, casings, circuit boards, glass tubes, wires, resistors, capacitors, fluorescent tubes, and other assorted parts and materials. E-waste is of great concern largely due to the toxicity of some of the substances if it is processed improperly. The toxicity is due to lead, mercury, cadmium, and a number of other substances. A computer, for instance, the monitor may contain more than 6% lead by weight. With 2.7 million tons of electronic waste generated in our country annually, and with metro cities being the major contributors, India stands as 5th largest electronic waste generator on this planet. E-waste is poisoning our soil, it is poisoning our water, our air, and due to its improper dumping and processing, and has become a lethal threat to health and the environment because of the toxins present in it. A recent report by the Center for Science and Environment found that Moradabad gets over 50% of India's total discarded printed circuit boards, and over 50,000 people are involved in the business of this informal and unorganized recycling. The soil in the area has been contaminated with zinc and copper by up to 5 to 15 times more than the prescribed safety limit. Even the water from the nearby Ramganga river was found contaminated with chromium and cadmium by up to 1.3 to 2 times higher than normal limits, along with traces of cancer-causing elements like arsenic and mercury. The sad fact is that 76% workers of these informal recycling operations in India suffer from respiratory ailments like asthma, bronchitis, choking, coughing, irritation, breathing difficulties, etc. This is primarily due to the primitive and polluting methods of processing e-waste in our country, lack of safety measures and awareness. Possible solutions: boosting e-awareness, a large-scale awareness campaign to sensitize consumers about what electronic waste is and how it can impact health and environment. Number 2 is a take-back program. The government should ensure that every electronic manufacturer in this country has a take-back program of e-waste, so for its proper and safe disposal of the discarded gadgets. Bring the informal and formal recyclers together. The majority of the e-waste in India is handled by informal recyclers, as we all know. Formal sector should see this as a great opportunity to harness their vast and complex collection channels for more effective e-waste collection and redirect it towards proper disposal units. Refurbish and reuse. Discarding old or defective gadgets is simply not the solution. We should inculcate the habit of repairing and reusing old electronic products. If not, we should at least give them to the re-commerce websites where the gadgets are refurbished and sold at discounted prices, making the same gadgets affordable to the poorer section of the society. Small enterprises, components and spares of electrical and electronic equipments are the major source of e-waste in India. Hence, E-Waste Management Rules 2016 have expanded the responsibility of e-waste management to manufacturers, dealers, and refurbishers to address leakage of e-waste to informal sector at all stages of channelization, in addition to producers and consumers and small enterprises who were exempted in E-Waste Management Rules 2011 have now been included in the latest version of E-Waste Management Rules 2016. Recycling solutions. Recycling technology aims to take today's waste and turn it into a conflict-free, sustainable resource for tomorrow. End-of-life electronics should be recycled using disruptive technology to extract reusable materials. There is a company in India which was known by the name of SWIL Limited. Now it's owned by Hindustan Copper. It was the first company in our country which got a license for e-waste recycling from the Ministry of Environment and Forest in I think 97 or 98. And the technology they have is that they have a top-blown rotary converter which basically rotates at about 10 to 12 RPM. And you can put any kind of e-waste. You can buy, say, cables, printed circuit boards. You don't have to do any separation. You just put it in the furnace, and the rotation mechanism and the various lances of oxygen and fuel and other lances going inside the furnace. Once the whole metal is being churned and the fumes which come out, there is such a huge pressure drop that all the toxins of the e-waste are automatically captured by this pressure drop and goes to the filter press. So whatever goes out of the chimney stack is absolutely clean, pure air. And this company went through some troubles, but now Hindustan Copper is starting it. And we hope that they can really do a good job on it. And it has capacity to make 20,000 tons of pure copper cathodes, having 99.99 purity. Along with, of course, as you all know, that e-waste has precious metals like gold, silver, platinum, and palladium, also to recover the precious metals. E-waste recycling facility extracts valuable resources, which I just said, of precious metals and semi-precious metals in an environmentally friendly manner. Now let's take an example of a mobile phone. Once the units have been unloaded, they are separated for recycling and refurbishing. Units destined for refurbishing are further tested, and the ones with heavy wear and tear are sent back to the recycling section. Mobiles destined for recycling are first manually dismantled, where the lithium-ion battery, the flat panel oblique LCD, PCBs and plastics are separated. All these separated components are then recycled in different sections, with the batteries going to the battery section, the plastics going to the plastic section, display going to the LCD recycling section, and the printed circuit boards going to the PCB recycling section. After processing, recovered materials are used again in a number of different industries such as electronics, electroplating, jewelry, automotive, and art foundries. Reverse logistics. has always been more challenging than forward logistics. In order to maximize asset recovery of the e-waste from electronic materials, they need to be picked up from several locations in the country. Recycling companies also need huge IT capabilities customized to their solution right